Right now I'm continuing the same lesson from textbook, that is the best Christmas present in the world, and almost we are trying to come to an end. Here we are, page number 15, the beginning, after comprehensive check. So the writer says, I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. If you remember, children, yesterday we came to know that the writer was advised by the neighbor of Mrs. Cody to go there at the Burlington house, as because she was staying over there. So he went there, and he also took that letter with him. So when he reached there were paper chains up in the hallway, and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. So we can see the picture of, a kind of a celebration that was on in that nursing home also. We have the paper chains, that we create on different festivals to decorate our walls and outside of our house. So paper chains were there, and some candles were also there, and at the same time we also had an angel, figure of an angel over there in that building. The writer is trying to tell you something about the Burlington house, that particular nursing home where Mrs. Cody was supposed to be. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. McPherson to bring her a Christmas present. So most probably it was the Christmas day. There was she. It was the Christmas day of Christmas, luckily, when he reached there in that nursing home. And you see, when he was about to deliver the letter, luckily it was Christmas day. So obviously if Mrs. Cody gets this letter, she would be most happiest person on this earth, because she is waiting for the letter as well as for her husband. And in the flashback we know that her husband is no more, and the writer has got this letter from a roll top desk which he bought luckily from a junk dealer. So this is a coincidence. Finding a letter from that roll top desk and the delivery, the day of delivery of that letter. This is something, a coincidence. So he went there and he asked about Mrs. McPherson, whether she is there or not. And there he could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. So I think a kind of a celebration was on there. People were wearing, paper hat, especially, the hat that we wear on somebody's birthday hat, or cap, can call it. So as because this was a Christmas day, so people were trying to celebrate that day, by wearing hats, and they were singing carols and all that. So that time he reached there and he inquired about Mrs. McPherson or Cody. Who is Cody here?
Why about McPherson?
Obviously Mrs. McPherson, the real name of that, Mrs. McPherson is Cody herself. So the matron everybody knows, who takes care of girls, especially in hostels, in the boarding system. So the matron of that nursing home, she had a hat on too, and seemed happy enough to see this gentleman, the writer. She even offered him a mince pie. If somebody comes on a particular day, like Christmas, if you are celebrating, that is your moral duty to offer whatever you have to that outsider, to that somebody. So in the same way as she offered, the matron offered a mince pie. So kachori in Hindi is called pie. Mince means the particular meat, call it pork, call it beef. It was minced,
Sir, they
made
eat.
in pieces. Made like a paste, and then it was
Sir,
made. Yes.
These persons eat meat.
Yes, they eat.
It is very bad.
They eat pork, they eat beef, everything they eat. I mean, they eat all sorts of meat. In China, people used to eat snakes and everything. You just see. So, I mean, most people are non-vegetarian. Nah? I think you are vegetarian.
Yes, sir.
That is. But I think he is not vegetarian. He takes chicken sometimes. Alright? Yes. Anyways, she walked towards the writer, and behind him, I mean, the writer started following that lady, and they went towards through the corridor. Corridor means a passage to move into. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others. She told me. She kept on telling. On the way, she started talking about Mrs. Macpherson, because the gentleman, I mean, the writer was there for Mrs. Macpherson. He has got something for Mrs. Macpherson. If you remember, he has got a Christmas gift for Mrs. Macpherson. So that matron started talking about Mrs. Macpherson to this gentleman. Who is this gentleman?
Right.
The writer, of course. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others. She told me she's rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. And luckily, as because it was Christmas Day, so according to that matron, Mrs. Macpherson has become a little bit confused. As we have been told in the beginning, that she has got a muddled head. I mean, she has always been confused. Maybe because of her age, maybe because of the sufferings that she faces. Maybe because she is waiting for her husband, and her husband is not going to come back. And maybe because of the age. Age is the biggest factor in this scenario. So today she has rather been confused. That is why we people have kept her apart from that party. Others are celebrating Christmas, but she has been kept in a separate room, as because she was confused a lot on that day. So we have kept her in some other room so that she could have a better rest. And if you are confused, take rest. You'll be alright. This is what they are doing. I mean, the matter is doing. She has no family, you know. We know. You know. She has got no family. We have not been introduced about her family. We have not been introduced all about anybody from that family. She has no family, you know, no one visits there. No one comes to visit her. No one comes to meet her. And most probably this has made her much. This has made her confused. I mean, you keep on living all alone for a complete year. Obviously, you will have some change in your mind.
So our feeling are changed
Yes.
than others.
Yes. Once you interact with somebody, your mood got changed. So the lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. That portion of the lady where to show that is the bun. She was gazing out at the garden, and she was looking simply. She was staring out at towards the garden. You know, if you are confused, you keep on looking at a particular object for a longer period of time. Because you are not clear, you are confused. But that is the case with this lady also, Mrs. Magnus. She was confused, and that is why she was looking out at the garden. Then they reached, both the matron and the writer. They reached there, they knocked her. Hello, the writer said. She turned and looked up at him vacantly. She started looking towards the writer. But when she was looking to the writer, she was vacant. As if she was having nothing. Simply staring you, knowing nothing, who you are, what for have you come over there, unaware of all these things. She simply kept on looking at. Who are you? She is not able even to ask who are you. Because of her age, because of her confusion. So she kept on looking at, towards the writer, and then the writer he just went on close to her and said, "Happy Christmas, Coney.
So
I found this."
So he spoke her name.
Yeah, he calls her by name. Yes, that somebody
But
like people.
she's older than the writer,
Yes.
so he's
But
respected him.
it's a
But
culture in English. People generally call by name. Except mom and dad, they call everybody by their name. So people love it to be called by name. That is it. Here we put on vistas, like bhabhi, chachi and all that. But there, uncle and aunt, sir or madam, and by name. So, happy Christmas, Connie, and I found this. Look, this is for you. He started showing that envelope to that lady. I found this, and I think it's yours. That I told her.
to the call.
Yes. As I was speaking her, eyes never left my face. On the one hand, the writer is trying to make a talk. The writer was trying to talk. On the other hand, the lady, Mrs. Macpherson, Coney kept on looking at staring something. And she kept on looking towards the right. She was not aware of who is this man. But the climax of the story is, we are very close towards the climax of this story. Just wait. And this is for you. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. He did what he did. That was the moment her eyes lit up. And as soon as Mrs. Macpherson saw that letter from that black tin box, her eyes lit up with recognition.
Become bright with happiness.
Instantly. At the same time, she started recalling all about that letter. Oh, I've seen that letter. Oh, this is my letter.
That she forgot and
Yes.
get sold into the junk shop.
She was forgotten.
She was.
She was forgotten because of her age, because of her confused mind and all that. But now, after looking at that particular letter, she's trying to recall those memories. Oh yes, this is mine. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition. Recognition, yes, she is trying to identify. Yes, this is mine. Recognition. When you are trying to identify, recognition. And her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness, and her face started showing happiness. Pause. So that was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a certain glow of happiness. She was happy a little bit when, as soon as she saw the letter, she was happy. She felt, she started showing some reflection of happiness on her face. The writer explained about the desk, about how he found it, and but the writer believes, or I just say at the same time, that I don't think she was listening. The writer is trying to tell everybody, everything to that lady. But then he found that lady is not listening to his talk. Now the lady has got involved in that envelope because she's trying to recognize that envelope. People of bigger age, their mind gets hanged.
Yes.
They are not able to do multitasking.
Yes.
We people are able to do multitasking.
So their mind are also not very active than young man.
Yeah. So I explained about the desk, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening for a while. She said nothing but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. She started stroking the letters. Oh, this is my letter. She's trying to recall. She's trying to recognize that letter. She's getting some sort of a feeling in her mind. But yes, this belongs to me. This letter belongs to me. So then she reached out and took my hand all of a sudden.
Now, what do we have here? We have a sudden reaction of that lady, of Mrs. Coney. See, what did she do? See, these gentlemen took his hand. Whose hand? Writer's hand.
Because she recognized.
Yes, her eyes were filled with tears, and she started, crying, and tears were rolling down from her eyes, from both eyes.
Nervous.
Yeah, she was nervous. She became very sad, after having that letter and after having that delivery man, the writer. You told me you had come, you told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said. Now, this she is trying to remember. She is trying to say that you made a promise that you would come by Christmas. Luckily, today, that day it was Christmas. She's getting that letter. She has got that letter back. With that letter, she's having that gentleman, the writer is there with that letter. And here you are, the best Christmas present in the world.
This was the title of this chapter.
This is the title of the chapter. Come closer. Come on. Jim dear, come, sit. What do you understand by her reactions?
She thought that the writer was his husband.
Yes, this is how, she thought that this is Mr. Macpherson who has come along in this letter. She thought that the writer is her husband. That is why she says, come on, sit. You have come back, you have made your promise. She has not gone out of senses. We cannot say that she has gone out of senses, she has got no senses.
But slowly process. Slow.
Yes, she's getting her process, her processor, her mind has become a bit slower. That is why. I sat down beside her, and the writer is doing all those things. Whatever she is trying to say, he's doing. Simply for what? Simply to console that lady. In order to get that lady feel relaxed. He sat down beside her and he kissed her on her cheek. Sorry, the lady kissed on her cheek, and then I read your letters. And then now the lady is saying, Coney is saying, I read your letters so often, Jim. Every day I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. So because of that letter, she was able to understand, she was able to sustain her feeling that whenever there was that letter, she was rest assured that her husband was with her all the time. She thought her husband was there with her until the letter was with her. This is what her feelings are, which are coming out in these concluding lines. I wanted to hear your voice. It always made me feel you were with me, and now you are what? Now you are back. You can read it to me, myself. Now, because you have come already, so better you get this letter, you take this letter, and you just read for me. I want to listen to your voice. I want to listen to your voice. You have come back. Because I was waiting for you. And then she questions, would you do that for me? Would you do that for me? And Jim dear, she's not calling that man. She doesn't know that that gentleman is not Jim. She's not aware. She took him.
That he is my husband.
Yes, that this is Mr. Macpherson. That is why she calls that man Jim dear. I just want to hear your voice again. I just want to listen to your voice. I'm missing your voice. I want to hug you. I want to embrace you. Come on. These are her reactions when she is meeting with this delivery man, the writer, to whom she thought that he is Mr. Macpherson. I would love that so much. I would love to listen to your voice. I'm waiting for your voice. I want to listen to your voice. And then perhaps we will have some tea. After that, we will take tea. Now, she's planning further. She's planning further. After listening to your voice, we will take tea. And I have made a very nice Christmas cake, she says. I mean, she has gone back when she was when she was all right with her brain, and she used to wait for Mr. Macpherson. And while waiting for Mr. Macpherson, she used to make cake, Christmas cake. So this is what she says. She is not making a cake. She has not made a cake. She is living in that nursing house at Burlington. And at Burlington nursing house, she is not there. I mean, she has been kept in a separate room as we have been told by the matron. So how can she make a Christmas cake? This shows that she has gone off with her mind. But then she's trying to recall those days, those memories. Just after getting that letter and considering this man as Jim Macpherson, she's trying to go back
To the past.
towards the days, into the past, yes. Absolutely. And then perhaps we will have some tea, I'll make you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. Marzipan, kind of a sweet covering for cakes. I know how much you love marzipan, as because I know that you love to take marzipan. I know that this marzipan is a kind of a covering of cake. I mean, you take a cake and put on something.
Cream.
The cream mixed with something.
Decoration item.
To decorate and to cover up the bread and all that. Not which that is made of. That is used. That is known as marzipan. The marzipan, I know how much. She knows that her husband loves marzipan. So, and she knows that her husband likes to eat cake, Christmas cake. She has prepared all that. In reality, it is nothing like that. But then, as because she is a little bit confused because of her age, she considered the writer as her husband, and she simply wanted to listen to his voice. So this is all about the best Christmas present in the world. The lady finally got her letter back, and she thought that this man was Jim Macpherson himself, and this is why it has been said as the best Christmas present in the world. That was the letter as well as the writer of this letter, to whom he considered as her husband. This is all about the best Christmas present in the world. Now after this, you please complete all the comprehension checks and working with the text in your fair copy. And as far as grammar portions are concerned, better you do it in a separate copy of English, that is copy for remedial and online classes. With this, thank you very much. Tomorrow I'll take up the first chapter from supplementary. So please bring in supplementary tomorrow. Thank you.